Well, I hate using the word excuse, Skip, but I think the thing is that the bubble, you said the Lakers were the only team that really wanted to be in the bubble, and they focused in and they honed in, and so they had to finish it out. They ended up winning the championship. And then you turn around and you factor that in with the shortest offseason in professional sports history, and you're talking about an older guy. We've heard everybody say, as we start to age, the body doesn't recover like it once did, and that holds true for everybody until LeBron James said that. Oh, but he spent $2 million. But I thought as we age, the body needs more time to recover. You need more time to rest. That's just natural. Tom Brady needs more time to recover than he did when he was 25, than he did when he was 35, as he, now headed 44, approaching 45. That's just the way it goes. Giannis went out in the second round, but Giannis is in his 20s. Kevin Durant had a year and a half off recovering from an Achilles injury. So to think LeBron James at 35, all of a sudden, the mental strain that was on him dealing with the bubble, because we heard a lot of guys, Skip, what did they say? Man, I had some mental challenges dealing with that. Physical challenges with that fast turnaround. So for me, I think there is some credence to the mental and the physical toll that it took on a guy like LeBron. Now, I don't want to speak for everybody else, but I'm just going to speak for LeBron being 35 and having that fast turnaround. Mentally draining, and the physical. Let's be honest with this, physical, because we say it all the time, having been an athlete, that as I got into my 30s, it took me longer to recover. The intensity, I had to train smarter, not harder. So for me, I think it was a no-brainer, Skip. I think it had a lot to do, but guess what? We got the full rest time. We got the full timeout. And this ain't no 20-second timeout that you had last year when you could whitewash away everything. We got a TV timeout, a full one. You in trouble.
Actually, you're in trouble on this topic because here we go again. You're giving LeBron an excuse and a pass for what happened post-bubble. And I don't understand it because he doesn't need an excuse or a pass, because you tell me he's the GOAT. You tell me he's still the best player on the planet. And you constantly remind me, he spends $2 million a year on his body. He is the ultimate workout warrior. In fact, to hear LeBron tell it or show it on IG, he works out harder than anybody's ever worked out in the history of sports.
The body's still getting older.
Okay. Well, is it?
Yeah.
Well, again, Tom Brady's 44.
Yeah, and he takes more time. And remember, Skip, last year there were days that he wouldn't throw? Where there was no days like that in New England? There are things that you have to do as we start to age. There are factors that you factor in.
Okay, so let's frame this. Let's go back and check the time off that he got. He got 5 months off during the pandemic before they went to the bubble.
Right.
5 months, unprecedented amount of time off as he aged to get ready for the bubble. And the bubble lasted a little over 2 months.
Right.
Okay, well, I think that's a huge advantage. LeBron, at age whatever he was at that point, 34.
So hold on. So think about what you just said.
Yep.
He got 5 months off. That's a huge advantage. But now he gets less time off. That's not a disadvantage.
Okay, but he got a huge run-up to the bubble to be ready for a 2-month sprint.
Okay.
He got a marathon amount of time off that they'd never gotten off before.
Right.
So don't tell me this was the shortest offseason in the history of sports.
Skip.
That it was unprecedented. 5 months off in the middle of the regular season to get ready for the playoffs.
Okay, get ready for the playoffs. Then you have the playoffs, and then you have the shortest time.
Okay.
So
how short was that time? It was actually 2.5 months off from the very last day that they won Game 6 against Miami until the first regular season game. 2.5 months.
Yes.
We took 2 weeks off in this last summer back in August, and it's the longest I've had off in 30 years. I was like, it felt like 2 years.
We talking.
Well, yeah, I dare somebody to come sit in your chair because it is grueling to come in here and prep as hard as you have to prep.
Yes.
It's actually physically grueling on your body. It's obviously not playing NBA basketball, but it ain't easy. I dare somebody to come try it because you know it's not easy.
It's not easy, Skip. Yes, the mental toll is more mental than physical because of the study that you have to do in it and being able to listen to what you have to say and make sure you make
the loss of sleep becomes physical. It's draining.
I've become an insomniac.
Thank you.
Okay. That is. But, Skip, you cannot say that he got an advantage from taking 5 months off leading up to the playoffs.
Well, I think it was a huge advantage.
Okay.
And then it was bubble issues, and he pulled it off. He smelled blood, and he closed the deal. Way to go.
If I concede he got an advantage from taking 5 months off, can't you say he was at a disadvantage for only getting 2 months off?
2.5 months is a long time. To me, it's plenty of time to get ready for the next season. But no, he never was ready. He never was right. Baloney. I'm calling BS on all this.
Well, hold on. Theoretically, Kevin Durant would have been able to play in the bubble, but he didn't.
Okay, well, what did I say? I sat right in this chair. I said, I think Kevin and Kyrie should just say, let's go.
But they said, no, we're going to give him the extra time. Why would Kevin Durant need extra time?
Because he tore his Achilles.
Hold on, a year is plenty of time, right?
Well, I thought so too, but that's just me. But this is about LeBron.
But that's what I'm saying, Skip. As we get older, Skip, our bodies don't respond like they did in the 30s, like they did in the 20s. I don't care what anybody says.
Is he Iron Man or not?
No.
Is he special or not?
He's
is he
human.
A freakish athlete
He's
or
human.
not?
That's what he is.
He spends $2 million a year. Is that not enough?
Well, how much does Tom?
$4 million?
So how much does Tom do?
I don't know. How much did he pay Alex Guerrero a year?
To be a year. He plays Alex Guerrero not to work on anybody else. That's
what I'm saying. He probably pays him several million dollars.
Well, that's what LeBron does for Mike Macias and his personal chef and all the other people that you work for me.
Okay. Also, other guys do that, but we don't hear about it. It's always about LeBron.
Well,
right?
Hold on. So, but you make it seem like Michael Jordan was the only guy that had a trainer. So Michael Jordan was the only guy that had a trainer?
Well, I don't know. He had the great Tim Grover.
Exactly. So that's all we heard about.
It took him a while to come around to have any trainer.
But that's all we heard about. So nobody else had a trainer in the 80s and 90s except Michael Jordan because that's all we heard about.
I don't know.
That's my point.
I mean, Tim Grover's worked with a lot of guys, including Kobe and Dwayne Wade. I don't know what the
No, I'm not talking about no. I'm not talking about who they worked with after. But all we heard about Tim Grover is that Michael Jordan was the only guy had a trainer. Olajuwon and Magic and Bird and Akeem and none of those other guys come along.
I assume a lot of them did.
But why we only heard about him?
Okay,
because you only hear about LeBron. That's what you're telling me.
Well, that's all you tell me about is how much he spends on his body. And I'm saying, you don't think other guys do?
Yes.
You don't think Kawhi does?
So let me ask you a question.
Durant
you think so Tom Brady's the only guy to have a trainer?
Heck no.
Okay then. So why do we only hear about Tim? Why we only hear about Guerrero?
Okay, so why are we giving LeBron an excuse for a 2.5-month offseason after they won the championship? And then we have Rob Palinka saying publicly that he actually has slimmed up.
Right.
I thought it was slimmed down, but I'll give you slimmed up. And the quotes are about how LeBron needed, at this point in his career, he says, this stage of his career, he made a decision to come back a little leaner. Well, am I supposed to say that last year he actually came back a little heavy?
Well, Skip, I think the thing is that it's always an evolution of you trying to constantly find out your body. What does it respond to best? Do I need a few pounds here, or do I need to take a few pounds off there? Do I need to eat this, or do I need to eat that? Skip, that's the one thing about the body. There's always, and the great athletes, and I'm talking about the great guys like the athletes, the football players, the basketball players, the Olympians. It's a constant battle with yourself. What is it that I need that's going to push me over the top? What else can I do to gain a competitive edge? Because that's all it's about. In basketball and in football, it's a matter of inches.
Okay.
It's a matter of feet. It's not miles.
Okay.
It's inches.
So, because LeBron flamed out in the first round of the playoffs against Phoenix, and then in that fateful, Game 5 at Phoenix, he walked all the way up the runway all the way to the locker room and just left them to wallow in it, right?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that's what he did, and so that was the end of them. And that gave them 5 months to get ready for the season opener this October.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. 5 months.
Yes.
So there are no excuses this time, right?
We coming out putting puss in people early.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll probably hear by midseason, I actually had too much time to get ready for this year.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
But see, why you do that? So you can run the same distance at the same intensity today as you could 10, 15 years ago.
Can I?
Yeah. No, you can't.
I think I can.
No, ain't no thing. You can't. Your times are not even close. Your times are not even close.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.